I was so for the make us say, share, would I want to have in a movie? I don't know. What would life was a sound? Maybe we are come on, Debbie. We may know honorable, Pierre from the honorable. We may not go so full. We may do a new. When you saw them, some was a Canada that you because it's a cow hawk. My wife, would they want to be again?
Who they want off the fire? Who? What to yem rade? It's a yam out to me. Oh, man, you move a dead. Ya brabo be ye fe. Ne nupe, no ma ya pabe. Ye bie ya pro hiama ya kwabe. Papa wo sikanso, ni medi hiao. Oko jesi chana wa breye mponyo no. Amemu oboni esi konto bo hini. Ye hu fitempo ayesi koko. Ona wo beka semno ya she won funu muma. Timemu fu na je brehi. Dola bako, sidi timinto. Drobo ayede, driver timinto. Ready for so I won't timinko. Kakroye bedi su boys timinto. Kenya sampi na manmo. Kwesi ya re hunyum bina ashe makume mu mama. Ye. Enyo do hunyum na mitwo. Kwesi ya re.
Razi, ma MPP biara onya ahobrase de tinapa ne mumbio. Me MPP biara so oyo ketecho so ya bufrabo bana ahobrasen ongogo de tinapa ne mubio. Razi, ma MPP biara onya ahobrase de tinapa ne mumbio. Me MPP biara so oyo ketecho so ya bufrabo bana ahobrasen ongogo de tinapa ne mubio.
Akufo-Addo ne kanofori atane na sefo they want to run a third-term presidency. Anu ma wu sese bi onipa wo yeti bonkoso pa wo betimi aboni tinko ye twroma na no okoka Bawumia. So they will force Bawumia on a MPP. Akufo-Addo ne kanofori atane na sefo they want to run a third-term presidency. Anu ma wu sese bi onipa wo yeti bonkoso pa wo betimi aboni tinko ye twroma na no okoka Bawumia. So they will force Bawumia on a MPP.
Razi, ma MPP biara onya ahobrase de tinapa ne mumbio. Ma MPP biara so oyo ketecho so ya bufrabo bana ahobrasen ongogo de tinapa ne mubio.
All right, the debate with Munufi and Honorable Alexander Afenyo Marcus Empire was Obama NPP for no. Parliament, I say, wow, no, what I say in the comment section, with me, ama, yashe, and I feel the Yaguye, your home album. NPP party in the say, into saying this opportunity, Benyano. Or who's a move payo, some more chantio, some more yedio, nobody even understands it. Honorable Alexander Afenyo Marcus and Kwana Tenasmase. Frank Akas, you are very happy. TTT, Charlie, you can say, that's it. This is the debate with Munufi. It seems say, manya flu kakrama kata bi ache bitimi pacho if you get a change in my sound or my voice or whatever pacho na ode ache me. That is how we're going to do the debate. And then Paul and then watch it ni yo. Oh, hosemo. Paul Adom-Otchere. Honorable Paul Adom-Otchere. Kikiri. Paul Ekopie special prosecutor wa ache Paul akaho. Paul Nwachere no. Paul na Nwachere ni yo. Paul na Nwachere ni. Paul Adom-Otchere kopie wa ese masaka ho. Ache ona bo akaho. Na ye ba be dosom ni abese edin pa na ma Paul akoka ho. Anse na Paul ebe ko no. Paul na nkasa hu se enne pa nkurufo wi so mo hiami die. And now, special prosecutor say men force one mera die. Kia ne ken. Ahwe ameda ho. Paul na nkasa ehu ye. Paul na nkasa hu say enne because special prosecutor Fred Paul Adom-Otchere say omra. Paul through his lawyers actually the command special prosecutor say bibinti anka Paul enti memba. Omaninya Monday special prosecutor say there be and na me here. After the Paul could do her, Paul together with some others could do her as a massa. Or the a charge. They say I just to say we are crom for. Intino a charge. Na charge ya charge no so no. per landed property ebra na fa bebe ho Paul say onu ni landed property bia wakra ho ba cho nyame wase mo Paul Adom-Otchere na kan say onu no Paul Adom-Otchere ni say onu ni property bia wakra ho enti they say the Paul akoka ho ama je say ye pay bill ko be Paul Adom-Otchere together with his two others and say ye Paul apie na Paul nankasa beji tu mu say e na no pay Paul ankasa ban Facebook live first time be ye show ekere nsemu bebre according to Paul no abra we board chair e wo Ghana Airport Company Limited no and a company bi ba say omo betima ma Ghana Airport Company Limited no and make profit, so he together with the board members no I'ma go ahead say management and next company no enkoye adwuma enti ono no onim da say na company no any management is a contract 2 or 3 days before the election or so no onim. He didn't know anything about it. This is the information that Paul Adom-Otchere neka me say no crew when you no crew have no idea. Paul and Adom-Otchere no. Because yesterday I showed you a particular excerpt of Paul and the defense being so first and I call a Christmas tree. No, Paul the defense be by it ended up say defense wasn't straight. Because Paul nankasa a director Ghana for say yenko ministry enko information koye ministry they have no idea say any contract of such so also far they know no Ghana amoka bia meanwhile na Paul ma Ghana boka over 86,000 Ghana cedis. And for special prosecutor to do a lot of investigations and then call Paul and arrest Paul, no, it means that there might be some iota of truth. I'm not saying or any special prosecutor has their own way of doing their own things. I cannot defend them and I cannot defend Paul. But based on the facts of the matter, and they say special prosecutor say we're detaining Paul Adom-Otchere and 2 others. More bail. So when meet bail conditions now, they're gonna go home. When meet bail conditions, they are Paul Bekaho. This is the debate with Munufi. I always do research, present to you data. Send Mamudu Bobiamakan. Yes, contract breaches. And the Christmas tree is a different thing. And a win a different thing. And the Paul Chere say, he as a board chair and board members, no. Emma that said company, no. Eba beye analysis at the chairman Musa and company, no. Beti me juma potina yedia momo. So they told management say monko na mono monko ye adwuma. Now initially no that company no wanted to get 20% of every profit ebeba, but according to Paul they gave them 16%. But ono no nim that say Ghana Airport Company Limited and no sign any contract. That is according to Paul. This is the statement according to Paul Adom-Otchere. Na me unka this ha. Na uku bisa me question. Material was the source. This is the gospel according to Paul Adom-Otchere. Now special prosecutor emfa ne de mbai. Inti maybe sometime being a special prosecutor so the need about you be the main reason why Amaya Paul Akaho because Paul say or not as board chair no he has no idea say company ni ko bibia ese che ne because he's the board chair and on the go ahead say management no monya dem fit bit me abo a Ghana Airport Company Limited it is a Ghana Airport Company Limited akoya ade na wi a ono won sign signature oh. Then Paul made mention of something say there is this journalist be and na otani ni edin komo. But onim se journalist no eye adwuma office of the special prosecutor and say the journalist adwuma na oye. Manasseh Zuri. And Paul is also raising another idea say it seems that Manasseh Zuri eye adwuma special prosecutor but on special prosecutor nzu kodin kuma no was say be testing ama Paul Adom-Otchere said this is what is going on behind the scene. That is what Paul Adom-Otchere made mention this morning. Enti afeni ye ba be say Manasseh Zuri oye adwuma special prosecutor and I say he's his own investigator and I say oye mole bi o sha mfini a okoha na obaha because Paul Adom-Otchere was trying to say he is getting a lot of informations and he said OSP friendly people investigations now. Manasseh Zuri caps back and then others also tell him Nyama OSP eye Ghana no I say the government agencies ni bi wura ha na omoko fa obi a na nipa na sen da ne ho say okwa no akoteto akwa say Manasseh Zuri sa papa yi ne kofa His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Ford nsɛm bi baeɛ no ɔboa ɛma no bɛyɛ yee ma 2015 2016 His Excellency Elusi Abato. Me, I'm not saying Manase is credible or credible. It's up to him. Manado buy and also Ghana Kotra South Africa because near Penekuno. It's up to him. Meaning whatever has transpired between him, himself, and Paul Adom-Otchere. But Paul is trying to pinpoint Manase as we say, Manase in leaking some of the informations at the mano. The information is say Paul hon Achere no. Mwaka jwa mesero. So what landed property bi wa Accra. Now wait me the Kobe Paula. Kobe no. So any opportunity waiting that could be Paul Adom-Otchere Mr. Nawako. What could be Paul Adom-Otchere? Because for now, they as we speaking on Paul hon aka Germa. Special prosecutor say Paul person Otchere say on what in cry hono. So ni a dying and now we need to be order. Hey, let's Paul say I could finish a crow and I'm a wa. Because expose ya can be that by Paul it to quite rough of not so person just a crown kakrakana or teno. We need landed property be our there. As a Ghana who can yeah, of course, Paul say witch hunting, any witch hunting on. Until me say only a witch, any hunting is a special prosecutor and a witch, you know, we hunting Paul no. Or no answer. Tanimu is a cool. Sano come. My prince master is not true. My prince, which of them is not true? Me said the name I was saying true. Paul didn't name you true, and I say a special prosecutor didn't name you true. Of course, because Paul Adom-Otchere seems to be this morning. So I say, well, my judgment and he said, "We make idea and yadi ameba." So he knew. Into me, so awkward. No, for blanket I share the bag him to acquire your man and parents or that that's so precon. Your parents are Paul, and then watch it. Oh, nipa answer you. Me o SS ne wo hall bi ha na fe ni pan sa hwe ne we girls dom na what I understand is enwumre man ko se kodare no kotra ho de a ye be so pause a tini e fre ho ni pan sa hwe unya ko wure ni pan sa hwe pa utiate hey asemo Ghana Paul Adom-Otchere papai Paul say okay can see me tell special prosecutor and special prosecutor per se on the mafia kakara. But special prosecutor also say that is not the issue. And you hear the real reason why I Paul watching no. There are two screens so much with me kind because a lot of contracts as a Ghana man for business senses and contract be rough it doesn't make sense because they don't even care say minus and your money so sub pay man say senses sign you know those kind of stuff. They call in TNA yeah the Paul akotodwa say Paul to man who build there Uncle Fee so when to man who build there sebe and you be na a Paul na nkasa and akofana semaba. So that is the information at that and there's a Paul Adom-Otchere of Good Evening Ghana and name him nipa obey say omo link me na yenye mum say na boko na jay so aye Good Evening Ghana together with the debate with Munofi na fe dey boko ho. My prince, you do whatever you want to do but time will tell. I don't know. It's up to you, Minia. So that is the information out there. All right, call anymore. If I tell me free Paul Adom-Otchere, so me don't call another Paul. Another Paul be Kumasi. I find Paul Yando, Papai, NPP auditing pa. Na every given opportunity, no Paul Yando Emma Mesere. And I know they say Nipadodo now so again say Paul Yando ya be dine on some kind of comedian bia as a Ghana how they or many passere. Na Paul Yando ed information bia be tuga. On radio no Paul nyansu anko besu. Osi yem pache o ma no. Pache yem ko nemi support Paul. E dey na aba because my yesterday da bia na dey nsem pa na aba. Osi na no akoyi ne ka. Nsensem yo keken ya akofa asemi aba. E pache yenti Paul Yando.
Also court. Man Ernest Thompson, former Senate boss.
And the High Secretary.
Aye. What do you call?
For them.
Say Makoka say Attorney General Echa the case.
Listen, it's a issue. No, it's a issue. Do it there.
Statement of fact.
It's a issue.
But the American say, a quite almost fast, MPP for tomorrow. And yeah, fair. What's that? Me point about I'm not caught to a hold and call your child. Now, Miss, oh, yeah, boy, Baba, what you free home, me only make my heaven, my paper. So what I say? Where's the wish? Oh, so officer, come here, you want to a home. Who's that you? Come here, you don't go to a main patch. Okay, right. What about you?
You said there's something really about you.
Dr. Munkabi man. Now, no,
you really,
Poyando say na no ko pass mama no. Also akoka na and Storm say asem say ye twena say munti and Storm say pagya na straight to court. O say eh na court where akwa edi me kwede say okukume. Enti me sere Ernest Paul say ye mpacho ma no. O say wo pacho Nyankopon ndwi Nyankopon hata so di. Now they fache Paul because we the Paul we ko bo Paul car enya da Paul benye sketua. Nipa it work Kevin Taylor say ni titi se kusi a odwen ho. Ne mako school kura yesere omo o say pagya na straight to court. Oh Awurade Nyankopon. Awurade say Morgana. Paul tie ni titi se kusi na o say ni tie se kusi pa ko gina court dia. Dia asem pa na o say Paul nkoka. Nipa esi ne ma yesere kakra. Ewura na Storm say mesrew. O de Paul say empacha o ma no. O say court ho nye de. Enti na wo ato ne gina hwe wo twa asem no. Enti wo de o sere wa o sere de no. Hwe na twam ma no. O so de nipa beba. Ye nyina ebu nkotodwe. Epa ochawo say esere wo de jai Paul because as Paul ko nya asem court ebe hae adwendwen Paul titi se kusie be se yakofa adwendwen foforo aba ama fe do bo hu se kusie ti ya na fe de Paul ko yare ti se ne chama huntumi yare ya ne ye ko yare dai Paul ya so na di NPP fu achi a se be ye ko a ko chichama huntumi a no the report aba e ko chima so kofidwuma no the report aba na china nkwa no ma yakobo Paul ka e wo court na fe de Paul nye skantu a tisi ya ka ye bani asare sero odi Paul say ono ana aka ba o si we nkwa de be sero fa che no boy am no there was an one sero very funny man chale according to my message say o say na NDP for nkwa de u na NDP MPC net we dey NPP party
Chimi for party jawo
Enti mesere Ernest Thompson Paul Yando de enya santimamu kwa no ma obosere oba the whole Ghana this time Paul ya dan some comedian be in the politics na as a chairman won't me dey na wo Jimmy too serious but Paul dey a comedy way as yi bobukala mu free ho no eto anana no monse dey no as a Paul abeto aye but Paul dey no or the politics na ba behim tiesere wo the Paul so no an kai o so san pa ochew into the court into obetimi a you Paul through kakra ma na fi the Paul ma yensere kakra na yensere mum enya sa de a enya de a Paul emwa Paul na nkasa ajatum se chale emwa me emwa Paul oh mi amini Paul Paul akopass ma ba Paul I say me amena na professor confirm me ono akopass ma ba enyende aja yenko yenim o tenkurfo we ba bia entia. All right, so this is the debate with Munufi. Every Paul Yandos, you call Paul back, could be so. No one can give me about Paul Mienua, Paul Pacho. Mr. Mokai, Ghana and Sam says you, but some of the time, no. Nipa Brio, Yana Yen Tang Kai and Semna Isino. Yera Kenufurata. I say, Kenufurata, so Oyare. The Yankasa bad me say, Papa, at the hospital right after say trouble, you know. Bagana, what can I say, Diabo? And Ghana year, Juma. Whilst being the finance minister, NPP paying for you by outside the then president, and now them Kufado, and Saki Rakinufurata, or what kai, Nanado and Saki Kinufurata, 7 months to the election, and Osasan, and Okwano command a better position, finance minister, and Casa de Mano, as I beshe na say, Ira, Ami Adam, as I beshe na say. Now, whilst being a finance minister in Ghana, now, Papa to me the Ghana did what Jebosia or Babachis Kennedy. Me for the first time in my history as a person, ama hu se den kan dokono ene champagne eye party eye ewura kenofurata ene kofa de bae na unknown to us no say na abra wo finance minister no okatacha firifa ya jandam ken ebo ni dua pacho yenti duabo no na question me be bisa say eye duabo no ena ache kenofurata anase den pacho ti duabo yi
na nanu madaruma JB dan kwa asefo efri na de ko enam de omadan na de akire yenti yesra sesa nananom akonyo esiwo se abanwa mo masefo emfuru bibio da
Yeah.
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 shame kwale
Atemu obranie.
na madama yeka wo fori ataso won resan ya mija na mamu ankasa matemu
Yeah.
yeka so fori ataso mo man ho to na mija mo ma ono an kasa ntemu
Yeah.
say yare aba na Ghana fo ho kirom na akobọ bosia titiri di na aba na wadam fo bechedi na aka kire me maame mo say wo ba betutu mu botom wo ilevia na nanom say bi obi nton sen hyere ne busuefo
Yeah.
bi gina monim asire tumi e wo wiase nyina say mo ankasa mo ne ofori ata ne akufuado
Mo ne omuni.
mo ne omuni mame
Atemu obranie.
na madama yeka wo fori ata so won resan ya mija na mamu ankasa matemu
Yeah.
yeka so fori ata so mo man ho to na mija mo ma ono an kasa ntemu
Yeah.
say yare aba na Ghana fo ho kirom na akobọ bosia titiri di na aba na wadam fo bechedi na aka kire me maame mo say wo ba betutu mu botom wo ilevia na nanom say bi obi nton sen hyere ne busuefo
Yeah.
bi gina monim asire tumi e wo wiase nyina say mo ankasa mo ne ofori ata ne akufuado
Mo ne omuni.
mame
pacho ti duabo ni ye afiri fa mensa say yare aba Ghana na being a finance minister what the Ghana di akwaje bosia no abecha di ono wabusuafo ma be first Kennedy uwie ya oso de katwitwiri di abeto Ghana so ama maame kokwanafo ne mmerewafo bi mo yare e wo ban no e do musika akoto bank say kakra e beto adu anom so kenofurata se wafa ento katachi afirifa duabo boy so o si yare baaye no na se wo se wo da nyansa kwan e begitima mufosika na wo be fa didi a na nanom amwo asase so no wi ma mo soro ene nanom asase so mo ne kenofurata ni these were serious duabo akenofurata to say enya adwuma. But the question I'm asking today is a duabono and a chip papa another day. The patcho T questions in the year. The one you're careful. Sometimes what's a gun and as because of a board, you are because you are born and yajuma. So Bobby do one tier a different. But was so Tim Kwan out to my no one to Kiashina. Ghana bosom a yajuma. Papa gunsa. Eden sa a good form sign numbi. Pacho hwade o kete chefrifa
yeka so fori ata so mo man ho to na mija mo ma ono an kasa ntemu
Yeah.
say yare aba na Ghana fo ho kirom na akobọ bosia titiri di na aba na wadam fo bechedi na aka kire me maame mo say wo ba betutu mu botom wo ilevia na nanom say bi obi nton sen hyere ne busuefo
Yeah.
bi gina monim asire tumi e wo wiase nyina say mo ankasa mo ne ofori ata ne akufuado
Mo ne omuni.
mame
Atemu obranie.
asemo kete chefrifa enti na woda tore na se yewra kenofurata ewa di asem na beka the same kete chefrifa wan was abra obodua so na o se ofira kuntunkunu ntumatuntum enne kenofurata ko America wamba akoka ho na santi bide tu ko ya wamba akoka ho enti eya busuafo na mo chiske di no ena ebo mo to wan matese na adu nwe bi so efe se bomti o se de ono so aka no. And many people thought say a hopes in dua bono kwan ye but not knowing so kete chefri fa so bodua bi a ehye ho a ye nan ye e be na enche because obi anim say kenofurata was being a finance minister no one kasa o party for kwa president was Mr. President papa we mo no homode odi Ghana ska o ma ho kira ba Ghana pam no and how do say there be menje Eunice, a very serious situation, very serious. By NPP for the beans on my
Jimmy for party job.
into my green and so because whilst in the government, not the NPP for you say that is the only thing they were doing. Corono ebe di o my green mama, she said, Obo Mudia Kwan and Yajuma. Antoine is doing overtime. Serious because they say so far, no, because the Jeffrey Fass Abushia for now more years, Yano. Oja omodo mama nananom e ba che wo de tie nsem na akwane kan ni ye o tie duabo na akwane kan ni ye akwane bo dua very serious
nananom adaroma JB down kwa asefo efiri na de ko enam de omadan na de akire yenti yesra sasa nananom akonwa esiwo sa abanwa mo ma asefo emfuru bibio da
Yeah.
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 shame
Atemu obranie.
na madama yeka wo fori ataso on resan ya meja na mamu ankasa matemu
Yeah.
yeka so fori ataso mo man ne ho to na meja mo ma ono ankasa ntemu
Yeah.
say yare aba na Ghana fo ho kirom na akobọ bosia titiri di na aba na wadam fo bechedi na aka kire me ma me mo say wo ba betutu mu botom wo ilevia na nanom say bi obi nton sen hyere ne busuefo
Yeah.
bi gina monim asire tumi e wo wiase nyina say mo ankasa mo ne ofori ata ne akufo ado
Mo ne omuni.
mo ne omuni mame
Atemu obranie.
A serious thing and I call we ye no. Mesre NPP for and then another bushel for or so about you say Ghana presidency dear mum metana to be da pam or cut the Jeffrey for the boss and quasi way. And they won't say the same cut the Jeffrey for no boss idea way no. And I see a 10 in a while or say campaign they must uncle for now. Okay, the Jeffrey for the can't say me allergy Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. Said another more a pay BBI and a pay will be a sebi way to boncoso. Ti asema kwa nsa ka wa.
Akufo-Addo ne kanofori ata ne nasefo they want to run a third-term presidency. Anu ma wu sese bi onipa wo yeti bonkoso pa wo betimi abonitinko ye twroma na no okoka Bawumia. So they will force Bawumia on a MPP.
O kan se mo nyina o. Kan se mo bo mu dua. O katachie. Se obo obi dua na dua na kire na wo so ankoda na nanom ase a itimechew. Nti nipa we ye campaign ti omo bo dua we nyina ti omo anne wo san di omachi no katachie be very careful. I mean that's what na say aso mu a ye dey social media ye beka o. Social media na ye beka because social media na ye avenue a ansem bi ye ko ba bia ba ho ye ka no. This is I had if nipa nse hwe no.
Jimmy for party job. Who share?
What's your MPP then?
A Jimmy for party.
A Jimmy for party in the Anonia Dodo.
Oh, me, President Kufuor and Kwasana Bekala.
All right. Enti so katachie frifa ukwa Jimmy for we ho. Na sa wona mna duabɔ na wo ba. Wa hu ne wa yake no furata. Isi wa ma papa yakɔ ontime ma. Ntime sira Ghana ni bia wo hia na ado na bushafo a ti omo na yeso se asem bia ba man no ma katachie frifa e bo omo nkwase adua bi. E fe ne tan dua. Wa nan na obahyi omo nyina ase. Anyway, let's move on. This is the debate with the Munufi in the comment section. Wow, no menya adwene o therefore comment brand na discuss na fi de yempem so me pa cho so nya subscribe ya. This is the debate with the Munufi. Subscribe for me na fi de me bia me ba live a no ba ebe join me. So hwe how His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ebuman ya ama tansie aka NPP for. Until you wura parliament demo go outside of parliament that is the reason why Afenyo Markins it will boss empire way.
Razi, my MPP biara onya ahobrase de tinapa ne mumbio. My MPP biara so oyo ketecho so ya bufrabo but now ahobrasen ongo go de tinapa ne mumbio.
Papa ya hu say baby ade na duru no ayeden atija ajegon nti nkwasi empire e na obo. Empire mfaso bi ani so. Empire emwa no. Mi wie ha me de obekọ demolition bi akoso Ghana. Magdan ni me bi asese no na sefo ne ha wa ne me bobo ba no. Aye pese de NDC sembe fremu no. We going to do all those kind of things. Na fe de mase akiro NDC panyi bi a ese ne ho aba adwamu. Me be ma papa no history. No hu se NDC panyi ben e na ne ho aba adwamu. Me pa cho man ko ba bia because this channel the debate with Munufi I present to you facts. Ura parliament dema Honorable Isaac Adongo akan sembi akire NPP for na futuo nso ka ho bi ena ye kan say superment ankasa enso ka ho bi akire otene omo say they should go back to classroom and learn but you hear Honorable Isaac Adongo.
I wish to iterate that no matter how many times you repeat an untruth, it will not metamorphose into the truth. That even when they have read all the things that the minister has stated and enumerated as his expenditures for the period, they still want to be climbing on top of the hills and shout that we are not spending and hoping that somehow that will metamorphose into the truth. It will not happen. Mr. Speaker, I have heard people say that the gains that we are experiencing now in the economy is because of policies they implemented. How does the policies that could not turn around the economy when you were there suddenly be performing magic when you are gone? It simply means that your own policies feared your leadership. That your policies failed to perform when you were sitting there. And when you disappeared, they became friends with John Mahama and made the economy to perform. Please go and tell that to class 1 children and not the people of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, the truth is that building National Cathedral doesn't turn around the economy. The truth is that running a government of 125 ministers doesn't turn around economy. The truth is that when you print 80 billion Ghana cedis as if you are a Yahoo boy, it doesn't turn around the economy. It is concrete policies that turn around the economy. And we are demonstrating that we don't need to be doing very big slogans. What we are doing is that we are going back to the basics. We are going back to the basics that you refused, and you decided to cut your coat as if you were living in a king's paradise. No. Resources are limited, and they must be used judiciously. Mr. Speaker, when you have a government that within 7 months has moved your inflation from 23% now to 13.7%, you should begin trooping to the Ministry of Finance to be learning from Honorable Adom-Otchere how he did that.
Exactly.
When you have a minister in just a matter of 7 months or even less, move the exchange rate from where it was to where it is today, shouldn't you be going for tutorials? And here, instead of going for tutorials, you are busy holding press conferences. At the last count, you have already done 58 press conferences. A quite wow, 4 years and counting. You get tired. But I want to tell you that consider what you see as a relationship between monetary policy and fiscal policy, which you failed to anchor. Today, when we realized that we were going to have a heated economy and inflation was going to sour, what we did is that monetary policy and fiscal policy agreed that the cost of managing excessive liquidity should be dealt with by the Bank of Ghana. So you realize that the Bank of Ghana was aggressive in mobilizing and mopping up excess liquidity. The reason was because if you allow the fiscal side to do that, you are going to have a very high interest cost and you will not have space within the budget. So you would have noticed that fiscal policy was borrowing at slightly lower rates so that we can contain it in the budget, whilst monetary policy was beginning to mop up the excess liquidity. Now we have come to a point where we believe that we must begin to tilt the balance so that monetary policy is solvent. In delivering monetary policy, you must be efficient in delivering monetary policy to stabilize prices. And what you do is to ensure that the revenues that you generate out of monetary policy are enough to meet the cost of delivering monetary policy. So today you will see that the Bank of Ghana is now borrowing on 56 days at a rate of less than 15%. What does that mean? It means that we are moving towards monetary policy at the Bank of Ghana. And the Minister for Finance is also containing interest costs within the fiscal space.
All right, the Honorable Isaac Adongwa catch the MPP for including Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say, Obetimia, Uncle Atto-Forcing or not Atto-Fortune, and Children at the Encoachino, and training on proper management of the economy. Because before 2012, 2014, there about to 2016, Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and MPP for Mayen who say economists there, they were gurus while Wale Adam Smith. Ijaya Goroni de Mama, pew, a dodge. Our dodge say the Mahmoud Bawumia so IT guru. Within 7 months, Adia will be JK Ntimianyano. At force in the 7 months, I say the NPP for the message they are saying is the management, prudent management or put in place, you know. And I'm my economy in the and then Honorable Isaac Adongo is asking, say, about the amount 8 years. Management of the economy na went to Ntimianyano. Our Ntimianyano who here ever administration. 7 months will be the best. So many years, also a 1 hour. Never the same time and Ntimianyano amount. And as an issue, and now the Danko Kufado, any alleged Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and answer. These are serious questions. And Raul will say, NPP for Nankasabia started beside alleged Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, they doubt him. What we had the banner saying also economy, so yeah, they say now, Quanabon. A bon papa so who nipa wa bon sada. Na dia went to for 8 years anyana at first the 7 months aye. O te chiri so a na o san to ayampia. O to board the ba park and so. Mungwase Gacl NPP party ni there. Na na do say. And the NPP party ni na aye hata hodi bi anim. Ahodi ni nyina tuko. So they have to go and think about themselves.
I would say to the people of Ghana, I'm sorry. We are sorry for the poor work we have done. We're going to go and think about ourselves.
All right, this is the debate with Munufie live on YouTube. If I chose only subscribe, take your time to subscribe for me. Now, if you're family, this is a family channel. That is why we engage in ourselves in the debate. As you think, we are saying, now, some about you do so. So the debate with Munufie, you know, you engage in it is a family channel. You think we are saying, for you board dame, you tuludu, you diagoro, you bompi, never the judge in jebum, now you disagree and agree upon ourselves. Please let's talk the fact and stop the propaganda. William Ani Awuku. William, which one is the propaganda here? You need to me name no, but I don't know which side of the thing is propaganda. Because we gave Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia 8 good years. Some fan building Ghana's economy. Inflation, a jump to saying. You know, debt to the GDP, a code saying. Unemployment rate, a code saying. This is a very simple thing. Google it and search it. And you because on this particular channel, and now so go back to my videos. I have a lot of videos on this kind of things. 54% inflation, 97% GDP to debt to GDP. You know, all this. She said, data not didn't favor Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So we are using the data to whip him, he himself.
Data brings light. People who don't like light don't like data. So when you see a politician trying to talk, you just say, bring the data to support what you are saying. And let us talk.
Until we are using the data, and they fear Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Say, currency na dollar rate over 1:4 no, or the coil could do 1917, and then that's saying. I was there sometimes, and nothing Afenyo marking a bomb pie the moment.
Razi, my MPP biara onya ahobrase de tinapa ne mumbio. My MPP biara so oyo ketecho so ya bufrabo but now ahobrasen ongo go de tinapa ne mubio.
If I ask or can fancy be was sitting up a moody. Was the NPP for Munya ahobrase sitting up a mu or can fancy be when I said the man fantina mentioned until we until we have to stress on that point and tell me, what's the NPP for more arrogant? Timunya Hombrassier. Afenyo Markets at the parliament at the tia pass some NPP party and then Obompire say NPP ni be a Hombrassier, setting up a moody. Hey, NPP party no.
Jimmy for party job.
Anyway, you're going to 7 days, doors too much. 7 doors. I was a former in BB. Demolition be a koso Ghana. That demolition, no. Raymond Archer. Ensem ebamu. Abra that demolition is no. A Magdan Nema any essay no. A patch on our screen over here. A Yera Magdan. Ewa Japadie bi airport company limited say esi omo Japadie so omo de no omo de assassin Lizzie Magdan, but before they realize no Magdan was putting up some building omo na twe ho man so atwa inclusive here So according to them, no, they decided to go to court. And a court, the order to go and demolish that building. I took it from Ghana Airport Company Limited for Ankasa website. You go there and you can also read it. Ghana Airport Company Limited reclaimed airport lands from Magdan Group following court ruling. So according to Ghana Airport Company Limited, no, a court and a more can say so mbetimia omonko no monko bu sane mani na ntungo. Pacho the document in ato screen so. Minim say NPP ni bi ba ba ka say o asema make an enyo no kore and a lot of things are NPP for that year assembly o munim bia no they will just come and then make a lot of noises about it. Meanwhile, no be come no na asem no sanity. The Ghana Airport Company Limited has successfully repossessed Pram Airport land from Magdan Group of companies following a decisive court ruling in its favor. But you can't accept of it, Edacho. You can't accept Edacho. Piano girl, we have a code. All right. The judgment delivered on May 6, 2025 by an Accra High Court grants Ghana Airport Company Limited full re-entry and possession of over 16 acres of land formerly occupied by subsidiaries of the Magdan Group. And according to them, no, court among quite say, Omunko would ask Asinum, not the opposite Miliano, Omonfanye. The land in question, measuring approximately 10.63 or so, is it 10.62 acres of land and 5.66 acres, are located adjacent to and opposite the Action Chapel International near the Kotoka International Airport. Enti omachire baby a assassin esi nyina court ema order say omonko demolish those kind of properties no mamen kan come anim. In February 2025, GACL filed a writ and a statement of claim against the two entities. Enti in some almost start here enye ne ache. So be our NPP no te achira won te ase no. Maybe you have not done your own research. Citing long-standing breaches of land lease agreements and outstanding ground rents. The company sought the recovery of over $26,000 in accrued grounds rent to the use of the land. You know, Magdan Group of companies, according to Ghana Airport Company Limited, Edomoka over $26,000 US. A bulky document, you know. The long and short, and they say Ghana Airport Company Limited, court, and a court mom order say, Omonko Joe Masase. I'm not saying say Omoko Bubuno is the best, Mr. My duty here is to come and explain what has actually transpired. And Chira will say, Enyadia, and say Remonacha, ebomu. And Enyadia, and this abandons on bomu, when you were chanting. But I'm coming to explain to you the reason why some people believe it's a Sebe Remonacha ebomu. Mokai say before your babe twabano, somewhere is it 2023 or 2022 baby. Now Remonacha current Yoko boss. No asasibi or property be ewo trade fair. Magdan Korea course Obabe redeveloping the property no eko bubu ne kwasiada. Many people have forgotten all these kind of things. Now, in some baya mani bedu level be say Magdan catch the Ghana for say ogo bubu dan no na japade bia enim but Remonacha so catch say na the full company cost over $10 million dollars worth of property and na eguma Magdan eko bubu ne manya tuku ye pacho Remonacha so de na bubu ye no and that was screen so no we are made we go back no wa say abra ye bubu dan na properties woman na property ni ma pacho this is inside Remonacha's property I bubu no airport no as at that time no but Magdan say na hwinim pacho yem go back na media on this particular channel what I do ni say me ma wankasa utie nsem ni bi na wate nsem na say pacho utie nsem bi wa say na we are yatwa so
from our security that there was a team of armed police and a set of bulldozers demolishing my factory. So we got here, and lo and behold, the whole factory with all these equipment. We built this factory 10 years ago. We installed new equipment. There are actually even equipment that are still under installation. This factory has cost us roughly about $10 million we put together. So we got here, the factory with this equipment and everything inside has been demolished by the government. Well, I mean, 4 years ago, I was here when they came that they wanted to redevelop the trade fair. So I said, okay, I'm a legal tenant. My construction was actually supervised by the trade fair. I've put in $10 million here. So they started, first time they started coming here doing a whole lot of things. So I decided to go to court. We went to court. We've been in court since then. Last Wednesday, they went to court to lift an injunction that the court had placed on the trade fair. So our lawyer immediately filed an appeal and a stay of execution, which was served on them on Thursday and Friday. Then this night, midnight, they come here with bulldozers, lock the gate so that no one can see, come here armed to the teeth just to break down the factory that we've built with our toil for over 10 years. These are machines that are very, very sensitive. You know, we brought these machines from 4 countries, India, China, UK, and the US. So even if we have to uninstall these machines here, it will take us a while. We have to book engineers from these 4 countries to be able to come down here and remove the equipment. So between Wednesday and today, the fact that they brought bulldozer midnight, after they know that they have been served by the court to come and do this midnight, since this government came, every day I brought light to this trade fair. The trade fair was almost dead. I brought that transformer here, light to this trade fair. They came to disconnect my light. So I bought a generator and I was running the factory. We built a beautiful factory that employs over 120 workers. We have gotten some of the best. We are the only company, there are a lot of products that we are doing now. We are the only company in Africa that can do this kind of work. So to see our government target a business like this and break it down midnight, armed to the teeth, is really, really unacceptable.
All right. And it's really, really unacceptable. That is the message I now hear Adom-Otchere. And sorry, say if there was any feedback from my end here. And inside the building, no. Machines or see over $10 million worth of goods. And machines. A gum. And a year Magdan, a kwa homache. A kubu near many in our to go ye. Say near many in Anna, you hear Adom-Otchere, and no jina on that time. No, ye Yuko boss, and no jina hono. A boo near many in our to go ye. A say near many in our. But surprisingly, no. Paul Adom-Otchere ya a grante Magdan interview bi. E pacho, o de hwe video ya mi twagui. Se o hwe se machine niam no egudan ma na se machine se wadan ma na se machine enim. This was inside Adom-Otchere's factory. Ayebu niam ni na tugu ye no. That was the work of Magdan ahomache. E no call lock ade no. E de bulldozers ko bubu niam ye wo mi na tugu ye. But surprisingly no Paul Adom-Otchere a grante Magdan interview be that time no. Osim niamane ko bu na hwe ngum. Pacho ti Magdan.
First of all, what shocks me is that you are confirming, which is very good news, that nothing valuable was destroyed.
It was destroyed.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
It was just the roof that was taken off.
The roof and one small part of the building. You can drive there.
Even though you say that doing it on Sunday night was not the best.
Might not be the best. It could have been a daytime.
Because the court had given the right for that to be done.
Exactly.
So nothing valuable, no computer, nothing was destroyed.
Nothing was destroyed.
So when he says a $10 million worth business has been pulled down, what do you have to say to that?
Maybe he's saying that customers will not come at that time. So he feels $10 million business has been halted for a day or two.
Tuti ya Magdan si ko bu na hwe nim. Osi bibia ngun machi edanum. That was Magdan. Then time no obubu Adom-Otchere ne man. This were the statement he made though. Ghana. Ade we na hwe ngun ne manum no. Na bibia ngum. And then the same McDonald, who says, say, na yebubu de ya ya e can no, and ne otia. McDonald or see you could be done, it was okay, we kwesi da homache kwalo kidi budu is school wudam na se for no. And now see soldier for the 2 years in the show today he's feeling the heat. He say, hey, say na yebubu bi den ya na ya. Oh, you use politics at the enemy so or no believe say Remonacha and mama but information my presentation will say it has nothing to do with Remonacha but rather no Ghana Airport Company Limited and I say my be a wusi dano and yet well no bab so that was the message at McDonald no also Remonacha say was it 10 million ABNA he's talking about companies customers about managers escano. But not the property na was saying no. You use politics no. E the enema basa. Papa when you Ghana airport in that terminal one or so the man is on. Oh, how you use politics no? E the saying nema e o minum. Bibia ya the say no. You chira say opponent in the yard and you best say ni sisi ya. And the joy pram for video when we so chira down to property and the Ghana Airport Company Limited so abubuagu. So that is why he's making noise say Remonacha that be NPP for Remonacha has nothing to do with this. But rather na Ghana Airport Company Limited say mo and a court amo order say but be our property ni wono emwa omaje omade the Ghana Airport Company Limited na aje omade. But yes, I can't check McDonald say time now when Paul Adom-Otchere the jandam say there was nothing in the building no. There were actually things in the building because video when you say there were things in the building. Ntimamo mfa kokwasa bi ense amam for japade e minum. We don't do things like that because Ghana no we are building and easy to make money. Ti se unu ekonye sika na say wo de kwan boni bi so fa so kogu ni business a e ha adwen. All say na ka on wotia. Anyway, this is the debate with Monofie. So in the debate session no mama ento aso ho. Me beye adwuma ketwa bi. Esero papaya me beye ne ho adwuma. Me nim ne ba bi ada. Me nsia na kora da, me nte ne nka da. But rather no, I decided to do a lot of research about him. And said I'm representing. If we are me do be call sono ma me a and the court to pam no. That will be the last segment. And then when I bounce on news, and I mean who news we saw NDC big wing in trouble. NDC big wing pen I was in trouble. Say so I decided to ask myself, say, Papa Ben almost also a professor and a bimuso and a professor. And I want some say be in the media for and NDC almost super NDC left centers NDC for you get a fake certificates, a lot of things. Papa I a Professor Richard Kofi Asiedu, Central Regional Chairman of NDC. Papa I say one also is kanipa o. Maybe kind of who history kakra but controversy there. A person here I saw also big kakra. Or to say me yankasa we controversy one who be. Metia say the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission has issued a warning to Richard Kofi Asiedu, the Central Regional Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, over his continuous unauthorized use of the honorable title Professor. In the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission say, Papa is also a professor, but almost one who say Papa no any professor. In the only sa professorship no in Sinchai. In a letter dated July 28, 2024, cited by Biographic Online, GTEC accused Mr. Asiedu of defying its directive to cease the practice, describing it as unethical and a violation of national law. Somewhere 2024 in the actual letter command said, Papa, we own your professor. In this word now from her professor, no, Jitun Chain. Now, Papa no say that be also a professor. Into also proof actually say or a professor and on matchia enti papa ini adwumafoɔ yi atwea besi ene nti na mahye dada to ho say wa obenya mbere no na wakan na afidie wankasa nso wa hu niema ekoso. So that is the letter yes ene papa yi etwekoba na papa yi say na mekan no ne ho nsɛm no bi ni say NDC suspended the kwa na anu de a na anu ya NDC suspended no pacho hwe date ya 3rd July 2024 e suspended papa yi say papa yi ni maybe since region wa party ni say o mani nje ho but along the point no yes I reinstate papa yi na me be say ubisa me say papa yi wona hwan ya say ne ho nsɛm bebre say na me wi am de me ankasa ma dwen kyere about nema Gitech in the country no me I disagree totally with them. I disagree with them. But of course, Ghana na dey say e dey dwuma obi a nipa na wa fa adwuma na te say sebi I don't even know but I totally disagree with any man as omo ya o target NDC for nko ano. Papa we sika nipa o akọ school ankasa the profile na me that to screen ni so no. Papa akọ school a why PhD nyina. Actually a lot of articles. So the question I'm asking is say ebreben e free obi so obetuma friend ho so a professor after say why doctor no. If I chowa unim no bit me kan kire me 7 sapon bibi aboko de papa ya ko school ekita ne PhD nyina at institutions are onye ni paketwa in a society, so why are they targeting him say papa no entimi friend or a professor? But that is the question that ibisa me hozi because 2012 na papa nya PhD. Actually, a lot of articles, the person in profile, and at the screen, so you can actually read it at any point in time. Mamenya me hoke to our Hassan Beya, wow, him and Opa bit me, I can't papa profile kaka. And he is currently he's the board member of Kwanyako Senior High School and Chancellor of Mount Hebron University College. Papa I say, he has a lot of things in the society. And so when him baby, Papa surprisingly on Ghana Web, your crowning papa say he's one of the richest people or one of the most expensive cars in the country. Aside being professor now, he's very rich based on my research. He's very rich in the society. And the Ghana Web actually said this is 2022 say meet Ghana's millionaire who is the first to owe over 1 million Ghana cedis. Ochuka Gacl said him kind credit. He's a professor and he's very rich as well. And Minim said that is the reason why some people want to bring him down or whatever. I have no idea. Papa ene da ho tenika kama a gentleman wabone bra aye bibia o pese oye bia and then kwabra ni biti ba bi pese ode azan bi gu papa ni ase. But the question I'm asking is say emre ben na obi beti my friend who say a professor. Then two, so be friend who say a professor. Now a ma also the bepa adwuma ya. Can you tell the person to drop the professorship? Pacho azuma nursing no friend who boxing professor. Why oko school ben the kunya sa boxing professor no? Can that this same Gtech tell Professor Zuma nursing say he cannot call himself a professor? Agara da also no ide. Okwa asofo no timo mo title bebre. Pacho hwan say dey say o kan chem to mo nyi sa title in free. Based on my understanding, if I sit in Finland and I'm a lawyer in Finland, na me back Ghana, na me ma Ghana School of Law, na me mko jina court say me kudi asema. Somebody meets me on the street, the person has the right to call me a lawyer. Although say in Ghana law, me menye lawyer ewa Ghana ho. I have had this kind of discussions with a lot of people over the time. Sayana semenam Ghana. Lawyer Chachuchi Kata a lawyer. Simibe Chachuchi Kata of Finland. I have every right to call him a lawyer. He also has every right to call himself a lawyer. Although say he cannot practice in Finland. Because nipane ma ho so be perjuma ye. No buy and also a professor and also a PhD holder and also a lawyer. Would you write now what's over catches on dropping a title at Danaho? I stand to be corrected. Until what I want to say no, Charlie Nicholas, we have called Nicholas Aqua. What I want to say no. And I said also a different view on it because you bet me a share on this particular channel. That is what I want us to be doing. Because Ghana and we have been more the position be many be tata and kurufubi or minum. Because when they see say akwa we wudi, akwa we when munyama, they will do everything possible to bring you down. But you say nipa ma also be pay or the professor na be pay what is your beef about him about that? But I stand to be corrected as I said no. Madam for be apreku when you have time we a PhD holder, we a doctor, time be no bit my friend also a professor. Mr. Come back and tell me. Because mine I say some people are confused about things. What I know they say, me tell my course school be but me ma Ghana say me the certificate be about some be pay. So what you Ghana that's what challenge my academic career you are mistaking yourself. Because when I appear before you, now me the boss say I am a solicitor. This is my certificate. Your baby is a honor me de cause a moon value certificate mama and send my team that practice it or Ghana and ask my team that come in him. But some ma when him I brand myself as a lawyer based in somewhere. You cannot tell me say why are you working in the District of Ghana calling yourself a lawyer? But I won't go Ghana School of Law. I mean that's a new juma. Yeah, they are only targeting NDC members. That is my problem. Oko parliament, I want to say the colonial parliament. It is as a man of the chair free for money juma. And now Omoko the information that come the chair free for. Then he also starts to brand this on his website. And we could uncle scooter. Then say on call doctor computer. So the same thing. And on go school and on your doctor then if I home. About also the PhD be page more. Munya sa ne manema na some society no some they target some group of persons because NDC we ba power no 7 months ni ye nya omo for to be here. So some people somewhere wants to automatically fish out some information bina or that be say NDC for them omo here na but some dey buy em fa munya because nipa no our co school about better sa papa no say rich man these are what targeting is our anger na emwa mo ha mo because these documents that are not the school papa na ko nyina some more doubt school no akona you have problem with him then go about and they tell him say there be school in here and onko e but say ni parents or a doctor or a professor now we better be say onye professor because ma also ba pay professorship maybe aya minimum there is a pay no that is my viewpoint the way I want to say you can also come back now if they ababeje nkomana bom this is the debate with Monofie Medin any William Monofi amankona. If I cho osono maame. Mwaka biam. Se muka osono maame. Former Chief Justice ya man baba ya enya de obeba biam no. Osono maame se enya de a case in still otene ho ase. Enti wa kwa. Amaami so obere o. Me maame ni anka mesu. Kamisu amane pa aja osan ko high court apam no ti ede mami be si ha osono mami high court apam no say oh madam unqualified nti e bia na ECOWAS court ho no ene be mami $10 million na wo hwe ne there but as we speak in there high court at dismiss mami no application for judicial review na okoye no amfa oh mami NPP4 how on earth are you a chief justice of a country? Then you want to fight the system. Sometimes I get confused about her. Maybe there's something on country Ghana for Nina. Because I do not see why a chief justice of our country say, my chief justice woman. I asked this particular question, say, let's assume that I'm meeting, say, and then committee report about outer. I say, one year, yes, I reinstate you. Do you think the Ghanaians will have that kind of confidence in you? Say, I'm be ma attending or minum. 2, are you ready to accept the president of the land? Say, based on Nema be a wankasa warrior, Yama who's a president in Penasem. Ubetim ne president na yadwuma executive no ubetim no ma yadwuma ubetim ne Ghana for yadwuma because and then watch it as a Ghana constitution na ewo no wankasa onje constitution ni ndi anase wugidi ba waheda anase wo kan ya wusi ne ti ase epacho yemi say ehun sa kind of simple na basic questions we about maami enye se me NPP ni me NDC ni me say that be sometimes we need to be Ghanaians and then we need to ask questions to Ghanaians and we need to ask questions as Ghanaians. Ada na constitution natural will say based on article 146 no oye we ya Ghana ni bitimi yese actually the president yeti committee yenyu sinche ma amene se ono no wonche sa ne mani ndi enti wa kwa high court ne abua no for no akọ supreme court ne abua no for no asaba high court abua for say the word duru ko court at the same time musa ngina Ghana high court enu ntina na no Dr. Tony Edu say wo no kwa na appointment na ye wo kan order out because niam na wo ye we kire say ase na won qualify kwa say obey chief justice in the country. Because somebody who doesn't even believe in the constitution and the laws of the country, how can you be a chief justice in Ghana? And never on how decisions coming from the court are decisions in the Ghana Nibia again decisions in the because Ghana for now said there be to say attention nebi aba minum. Anaka mebwa attention nebi aba minum. As the Ghana Nibia nyahota so ewomu. I was the decision, the news coming from the ECOWAS court no so no emwa. I mean it yet. But why na je say enya de obeti ase or kodia why na je say obegu Ghana ni say. That is how she has decided to do things. But I don't know. I mean aha. When you hear the message about say professor simply means a university senior lecturer. So if you leave the profession, you are called a former professor. You can't be called a professor when you are not lecturing at any institution. All right. So do you agree or disagree? Say you can say Papa need the word professor no or the term professor in Finnish no. Or that, but I agree with your explanation. Though meaning why are they say what to me actually come. Peter say this is sheer jealousy and unreasonable. Rather, mostly the NPP members mostly can't justify their certificates. NPP for the same can say PhD in lawyers and Dawson. So we need to all the mukujina quarters so meet me the assembly over there minimum. And no Bob say it's not only a senior lecturer, meaning any lecturer with PhD, right? No Bob. If I get your understanding correctly. So you were rather in reference to your AC messaging on the buy and then you rather came to shed more light on it. Or so even an assistant can be called a professor. All right. I got it. This is the kind of education I want us to engage in because it seems to say some of you might know more than I do. And I say sometimes I cannot be jack of all trades. Me who be here. Maybe PhD that I decided not to do PhD based on a particular reason because but it doesn't also mean say ubi a okusku and as ubi onima de bia na chere madwea enya de amefa. That is also something I think say we all need to do because this is the kind of education I want us to be engaging in. We need to do all those kind of things. All right, we need to send the message by my man kind and also. It is when you are teaching or lecturing in a university and accorded that title that you will be called a professor. The moment you leave lecturing, then you may say you can be called a formal professor or something like that. Well, I do that seems to be the same message. That's Kwame, you really love the program, right? I take my time to do a lot of analysis. That is how I've been doing this particular channel. This is the debate with Monufie. Why ne unya mre na metana bia na medase nyakopon ya adoma mesan ababim na me no asan abesom abom ochena I'll be back. That is how I do it. Into ochena kianake but the only thing is sometimes Sundays there na I come at maybe 8 p.m. Ghana time. And it's a bit me Sunday 8 p.m. na otweme because Sunday the minimum say nipa dodo na be kwa sorry bi mo be ye adwuma those kind of stuff. Until I give you time to think and then to take more times in a bit me engaging in ourselves. And then please, when you subscribe here and so on the debate with Munufi, I'll be to me as subscribe here, and then on our channel, our side live tab and also no, we will other video. I have two tabs, the normal video tab and then the live tab. Uko tuning in will be to me anya most of the videos na me me any William Munufi amankona inti nyankopon any obia entenana mereswa ebaba na fide yenemo abayega na adwuma. Ghana, Kwani, we need my be a full be a cayon, and see, so shall be an who say Ghana, Ojuma, never be.
Release this black puppet alongside Ross Cuckoo.
Aye, cuckoo. Cascades on it.
All right, into your doya my Ghana and then the content by and Paul Adom-Otchere. The Maka Biamu together with others. Into Yentoaso.
Africa na mi free Madagana. Mi pe womu su ye kama. Nyami acha chedi enti yem tu ozana. Dachi chrimeye. Omunti na ye breye. Yenje suye. And yes, I dachi ye bese ye. Red, gold and green. Me who wanna my feel. Love is the key. Love one another, that's the thing. Ghana na mi free, me mine. Ghana na me do, me mine. Me ni baby ako, me mine. Me mine Ghana. Ghana na mi show, me mine. I hear na me bo, me mine. Me ni baby ako, me mine. Me mine